This is the Roland FA-06. I'm going to have a go at taking it apart because there's something rattling inside that I'd like to eliminate. So here goes. Just put it up on its end now, and I've put these into place so that all the potentiometers, the knobs on the synth, are free and are not, and especially the joystick. And now we're going to undo these screws, taking particular note of which screws go in which places in terms of the lengths. Just looking at the screws, this is the keyboard side here, keyboard's just under here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 rows of screws. These ones here, these are all the same. I think that one might be different. And there's one at the other end. Then there's this row, which I think might be holding down parts of the key bed. Then there's this row here, that's the third row. And at the back here, there's another row here. And looks like there might be something down there. Yes, there is. There's something down there. So that will need to be looked after. Right, I'm going to start with this screw here. They're not very long. That one on the end is just exactly the same length as the others on this row. Makes things a bit simpler. Next one I'm going to do are these ones. They're quite deeply inset, but they look about the same size. So my guess is that these I can put in the same pile. Yep, they are. Next ones I'm going to do are these. These ones. I'll do the ones in the middle first. Right, that's these middle row out, and you can see these screws are all the same. I'm going to take this row just underneath the keyboard out. I think this is holding the keyboard in, but we'll find out in a minute. And we'll take a look at these. Now these look, I think they're slightly thinner than these other ones, so I'm going to keep them apart. These kind of things, micro tolerances do make a difference. Yeah, I think these are slightly thinner than the middle row. Right, now that is all the screws from underneath this have now been undone. So I'm going to have a go now at lifting it. And it's coming away quite nicely. There we go. It's all come away in one go. Very nice to reveal the inside of the synth, which I'll take you for a tour around. Right, so as things go, this is the keyboard side, and that's the back. There's the joystick assembly. 4 screws holding down that thing. As far as the keyboard is concerned, there's a screw holding down that. There's probably one at the other end. Yeah, there's the other one. So these 2 screws I guess you'd undo to undo the screws, undo the keyboard. Get into the keyboard, there's the keyboard assembly at the back. Back assembly, USB. Not quite sure what all these functions are. Now I'm not going to do any further dismantling because mine's works but I'm going to shake it about to find out the loose bit that's floating about in here, and just make sure that it's not interfering with anything major. Found the culprit that was making a noise. Looks like a bit of broken spring actually, and it is metal, so it could potentially have done some damage shortening or getting into any one of these things. So I'm glad I took the thing apart to take it out. So all that remains for me to do now is to put this back together again. So back in, taking great care to position it exactly with no force. So, right, that's great. Now we'll put the screws back in again. We'll do the outer ones first, and then we'll do these ones in the middle. Put in a couple at this end, I'll put in a couple at this end just to keep things in kilter, as it were. These are just going into plastic, so you don't want to over tighten them. Right, now the last row will be this middle row. Checking the tightness of all these, should be fairly consistent. Right, now this is the front ones. I'll start in the middle. And the last ones are these ones here. Right, job done. Just turn the synth back over. There we go. No rattle.